Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Adam McKola TV. I am Adam, as you can see by my face. This is the morning after Manchester United have been beaten 2-0 by Burnley. Can you believe what we saw at Old Trafford last night? It seriously was a peculiar day. It really was a peculiar day. Turning up, seeing the weather, how foggy it was around Old Trafford, the crowd, the atmosphere, the performance. Everything felt like the last 6-7 years brought us to this moment. In fact, the last 14-15 years since the Glazers took over Manchester United brought us to this moment. Now, when we went into that game, a lot of people were discussing the prospect of Manchester United closing that gap to top four, possibly getting closer to Champions League football for next season. But Champions League football, we are having a laugh. We are nowhere near Champions League football, and that is by far nowhere near our biggest worry. Our biggest worry shouldn't be where we're going to finish in the table this season. It should be where we are going, what direction we are heading in as a club. That should be the biggest worry, because we do not know what direction we are heading in as a club. We do not know how much longer our manager will be there. We do not know how much longer certain individual players will be there. We do not know who and when and if and what we will be signing in terms of transfers. We do not know what the fuck is going on with people that make the decision making at the club in terms of those footballing decisions. We do not know. There are so many issues at Manchester United that go beyond whether we'll get Champions League football next season or not, whether we sign Bruno Fernandes this window or not. All of those things are results of and symptoms of the Glazer ownership. All of those things. And we'll be discussing all of that tonight here on Adam McKola TV in the Aftermath Live. So make sure you're keeping your thoughts coming in on the show. Make sure you keep your questions and your comments coming in as well. We'll have plenty to chat about here on today's show. Manchester United losing 2-0 against Burnley at Old Trafford. We're yet to do the double over Burnley in the Premier League era. Crazy. We haven't done the double over them since like the 30s or something ridiculous like that. We obviously beat them at Old Trafford. We obviously beat them, sorry, not at Old Trafford, at Turf Moor. We got a good victory there. But I feel that's helped by the fact that Burnley at home are more likely to come out a little bit at Manchester United. They're more likely to try and attack us a little bit more. Whereas away from home, they can soak up that pressure and hit us on the counter attack. And that's exactly what they did. They were a lot better than us. They were a lot better than us, and they deserved that win. I mean, in the first half, you could say United didn't take their chances, because whilst we weren't great, whilst we didn't play very good football, we created the chances. Mata had a chance, Martial had a chance, Daniel James, it was a half chance with a header. I'm surprised he even got up for it, but drew a good save from the goalkeeper. We had the chances there in the first half, but the performance wasn't good enough. You take the first one, you get the 1-0, maybe things go differently, but from there, the second half performance was awful. There was no reaction, there was no inspiration from the sidelines. And we're talking about players, and we're talking about what kind of players we've got. And you see the likes of Leicester, the likes of this have better midfields than us. The likes of Burnley probably have a better manager than us. That's how incredible it is. That's a symptom of the last 6 to 15 years of Glazer ownership. Leicester City, Burnley, fucking Everton. They've got better managers than Manchester United. They've got some better players than Manchester United. Just look at it. We are falling fast, and other clubs are catching us up, if not caught us up and taking us over. It's a disgrace, and it's only so long that these lot can dine out on the fact that we're making a lot of money, because that money eventually will dry up. That money eventually will dry up. Those deals will eventually go to City or Liverpool or this or that or whatever. That's what will happen. And we can sack Ollie now. Fine. Bring in a manager. Fine. What are they going to do with this squad? What are they going to do with this squad? That's why when we talk about Poch, yeah, in an ideal world, he'd come in the summer. But even then, you bring in Poch, are the board going to get the players he wants? Are they still going to have Ed Woodward making these sporting decisions and negotiating for players and trying to get deals done? Are we still going to have all the... Yes, we are. So regardless of the manager, those issues are still going to be in place. And that's why I said managers over the years have got so many things wrong. Fergie picked Moyes. Moyes made some awful signings, got rid of all his backroom staff, done this, done that, whatever. Van Gaal made some silly decisions, in terms of selling players and all that kind of stuff. You look at Mourinho, made some crazy decisions towards the back end of his United career, but had the board not pissed him off, you'd probably think things would have been fine. You look at all the managers, including Oli, they've all made mistakes, they've all made bad decisions, they all deserve to take some sort of criticism. But ultimately, the problems that Manchester United face are because of those owners, because of those above him, because of those making the decisions. The fact that we've still got an accountant making these decisions on who we should sign, how we should sign them, going into deal. The fact that we've got him and Matt Judge doing all this is a disgrace. We are not run like the biggest club in the world. So how can we say and act and talk and do all these deals like we are the biggest club in the world? We're far fucking from it. We're far from it. Far from it. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Today we're going to have player ratings. We're going to have all that kind of stuff. We're going to be discussing the defeat. Like I said, top 4 is done. Top 4 is done. We're never going to get top 4. We're not getting top 4. The squad's fucked. Even with a half decent manager, we wouldn't get top 4. The squad's fucked. Now, if we had a half decent manager for the start of the season, we'll be comfortably top 4. I believe that. But that's still not to say every issue that we have is Ollie's fault. When you look at this playing staff, the playing squad, that's not his fault. He did the right thing in getting rid of some players. Never got replaced. Where are they? We've signed 6 players in the last 4 windows. 6 players in the last 4 windows. Let me say that again. 6 players in the last 4 windows. This is supposed to be a rebuild. What are you rebuilding? We've let go Darmian, Fellaini, Sanchez, Lukaku, Herrera, Young. All these different players we've let go of. Fine, let them go. Let Lukaku go. Let Sanchez go. Let Herrera, let Fellaini, let them all go. But fucking replace them. How can you complain? How can you run around telling people we're the biggest club and the best club in the world and we do things no other club can do? We're sitting in 5th, 6th in the league. We're fucking awful on the pitch. The fans are leaving half an hour before the game's ended. Act like a big club. If I brought Argos tomorrow, if I brought a fucking supermarket on the corner of my road and I decided, you know what? I'm going to let some guy that's never run a shop in his life run it because he used to run the bank up the road quite good. So he'll know what to do in terms of the shop. He'll know what kind of staff we need, what kind of produce we need, who the suppliers are, how to negotiate. How? He's run a bank before. He's never run it's like, it doesn't make sense. How can you let someone have the keys to Old Trafford, make all the decisions, do what they want, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing? It's a disgrace. And you know what will happen now? This is what I said to Gary Neville at the start of the season. This is what I said to Gary Neville in the summer. You guys may remember this, some of you may not. My question to him when we had that little debate was, do you think when results go badly, the fans inside Old Trafford will start to turn on the owners and the board because of the fact we won't turn on Ollie, we won't turn on him? And he said no, or whatever, then went into it. But this is what we're now seeing. 1 or 2 injuries. 1 or 2 bad results. Everyone's going to turn on them. And rightly so. Rio calling for Smalling. I hate this revisionism as well. It's like people saying we should bring Rooney back. Rooney was awful towards the end. Bring Smalling back. What the hell is he talking about? Smalling wasn't good enough for Manchester United. That's it. Ashley Young's gonna have a couple of good games in Italy. I'll bring him back. We should never have let Ashley Young go. No, they're fucking finished. They're awful. And the fact that finished players like Smalling, you're actually looking at them and thinking, they'd actually do a job for us, is a disgrace in itself. Our captain is Harry Maguire. It doesn't make any sense. He doesn't deserve the armband. We spent £80 million on him. He isn't that. He doesn't look like he's worth that money. He's a new player. You're supposed to earn the armband. Not just be giving it for nothing. Not just giving it for average performances. You're supposed to earn that armband. And I feel like he hasn't. And that's not even the main issue at United. We've got so many issues. The issues run deep. The issues started in 2005 when the Glazers arrived. The issues continued when we saw the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo leave for world record fees and not be replaced. We replaced Cristiano Ronaldo with Gabriel Oberton and Michael Owen and Antonio Valencia, for fuck's sake. That's how you know. Back-to-back Champions League finals. Record-winning league titles. Selling players for world record fee. And we couldn't keep up with our rivals. Fergie goes, what happens? Oh my God. We need to start buying. We need to start acting like the biggest club in the world. So let's just chuck money at it like a lotto winner in the strip club. Buying shit players. No recruitment policy. No recruitment plan. No plan from top to bottom. No idea. No clue. That's Ed Woodward. Yes, he might be able to sell numbers and he might be able to chop things up and make things look pretty to shareholders, but not to football fans. He is not a football guy. He's out of his depth. And until we have someone making those decisions above the manager, helping us, in terms of even appointing the right manager. What did I say last year? What did I say this time last year? We're going to give Ollie the permanent job when we shouldn't. He come in, he did a decent job. Yeah. He made us all fall in love with football again. He made us all love what we were seeing again. And that should have been it. But we knee-jerk reaction gave him the job. Knee-jerk reaction. We shouldn't have done that. And now he's in a position. I feel sorry for the guy. I love Ollie. I'm never going to be getting on his back and calling for his head and being disrespectful towards him. He's one of my heroes. He's a legend at this club. But as a manager, you need to earn your stripes. And he hasn't. And you look at him and you feel sorry for him. You know, that he's hurting inside. You know he's hurting inside. You know he's angry inside. You know he says some stupid things in front of camera sometimes. And it's him trying to keep things positive. It's him trying to keep the ship and the club and everything together. I feel sorry for him out there. Like Shaz says in the comments, he's way out of his depth. Way out of his depth. He's in over his head. And he's the one that's going to take the flak. But actually, no, he's not, Woodward. Because we're not going to get on Ollie's back. We're going to come for you. And the only thing is, we had amazing protests in 2005. We had amazing protests again in between 09 to 11. Amazing protests when United was successful and United were doing back-to-back Champions League finals and We had amazing protests, and it didn't get rid of them then. So we're not going to get rid of them. That is the unfortunate thing. 3 to 4 billion to get rid of them. But what we're seeing is the fans in the ground are starting to turn again on them. And that's great. That's great. Marble Hall says the Glazers are smart because they knew Ollie is a legend and the fans won't cuss him. No, because it might backfire on them. Because we won't get on the manager's back. Because we won't say, actually, this is his fault. Because it's not his fault. It's not any one manager's fault. If I'm running a fucking shop and I keep appointing the wrong staff and I keep making the wrong decisions and all that stuff, I need to have my head on the block. How can you make so many wrong decisions? How can you have so much failure and still be in your job? It doesn't make sense. The geezer's a clown. The geezer's a full-on clown, and he's taking us down with him. The problem is, these Glazers don't care about anything but the peas. Anything but the peas. And they're making a lot of it out of Manchester United at the moment. TV deals getting bigger. As long as we don't get relegated, they're happy. They're used to America. No one gets relegated out there. They can just keep leeching that money off their teams. It's a sad state of affairs for Man United fans. Sad state of affairs. I'm so glad I got to see success. Because imagine being a kid that actually grown up through this shit. Jeez. Oh, man. Look what United do to us. I was so heartbroken yesterday. I'm not going to say I could have cried because it's over the top. Do you know what I mean? Real, football fans go through harder times than this. But I sat there and I thought, let me stay here till the end. Let me just soak this in a little bit. Soak in. You're looking up and you're seeing fog just plume into Old Trafford. You're looking down on the pitch and you're seeing abysmal football from a shot to bits squad. And I feel sorry for a lot of the players. Matic has performed well in recent weeks. He's not going to play well every week at this age. It's finished. Mata tried. It's finished. Fred tried. Probably tired. Fucked. Not good enough. Andreas Pereira. Not good enough. Martial needs to be consistent. Should have scored, but again, we don't create enough chances for him. Daniel James, not good enough. Look at the back. Maguire and Jones, not good enough. Maguire might be, Jones isn't. Brandon Williams, I think he'll be good enough one day. Wan-Bissaka, not good enough going forward. Good enough defensively. And De Gea, you'd say he's good enough. He has been out of form. And you're looking around and you're thinking, everyone's shot to bits. Everyone's tired. There's no squad. Got no depth. Whose fault's that? That's not Ollie's. So then you kind of make an excuse for him. And ultimately, everything, every problem, every single bad decision is down to two sets of people. Mr. Woodward and the Glazers. Sad times. Get your questions in. Let us know what you're thinking in the comments below. Martial went missing last night, says Michael Wood. I thought in the first half, yeah, should have scored. If he scores at 0-0, it's a different game. He looked like he was lively and he was on it and he was trying to make things happen. Then the frustration built, and in the second half he wasn't in the game at all. So really frustrating, man. Feel bad for the likes of Greenwood that are trying to develop and they're getting burdened with pressure and bad team performances. It's going to ruin them. That's the danger. I don't have Ed Woodward's address. Relax. How will Pochettino save this team, Adam? Look, this team right here, right now, I don't see Poch being any better than where we are with this team. I think the only difference with Poch is that he plays a clear style of football. His football would be better. I think the cohesion of the team would be better. I think we'd be better coached. I think with Ollie, it's a system that's heavily reliant on us having good players. Because it's almost not a system. It's almost, Ali's kind of like, he'll tell players what formation to play in, how to play, what kind of, play with high energy, high enthusiasm, do this, do that. But when you're looking at, does he coach things, coach movements, coach triangles, coach, passing moves? Like, he doesn't do that. I think he's very much reliant on the players. I think with Liverpool and City and all that, you can see how they play, no matter who plays. If you take one player out and put another player in, they play the same way. United aren't like that. We're heavily reliant, and this isn't a bad thing. Ollie says, go out there, do your best. Ollie says, go out there, do, have some freedom, express yourself. But we haven't got the players to do that. So you need to have some sort of plan, and we don't seem to. We don't seem to have a plan at all. It's almost like, go out there, let's hope for the best. And when you haven't got the best players, you can't do that. If you had a quality midfield and you had someone supplying chances to the strikers, maybe you can. We saw how good we looked when we had Paul Pogba in there. Especially as Poch will bring structure on the pitch, but the offices will still be full of clueless, and then it's moved on. So I've missed the last bit of that, but I reckon it was something like Bellens. Is everyone still talking about Bruno Fernandes? Bruno Fernandes isn't happening, guys. Bruno Fernandes isn't happening. Times like this, I appreciate how good Rashford really is, says Carl. And to think some people are on Rashford's back at the start of the season, disappointing. If you compare our team with the likes of Leicester, Wolves, Tottenham and Chelsea, we're behind these teams. 6 players at least to be better than the team. So 3 to 4 years to be top 4. We need about 6 players. Sounds about right, to be honest with you. It definitely sounds about right. We're not getting any signings. I just can't see it happening. They'll probably be forced into or rush into making some signings now, but I really can't see it coming. What a sobering day at Old Trafford. What a horrible day at Old Trafford. Oh man, that was bad. It was really bad, and everyone just didn't even have the heart anymore. It was good to hear the chants against the Glazers. Fucking hate them bastards. Here's my player ratings. I don't know what I done. I did these last night, so let's go through them now. De Gea 5, Wan-Bissaka 5, Jones 3, Maguire 4, Williams 5, Matic 3, Fred 4, Andreas 4, Mata 4, James 3, Marshall 4. Those that got their 4s probably got them for the first half performance. Would have liked to have not rated anybody. If I had to give them a rating, that's what I've gone with. I'm broken out here, guys. I feel gutted, man. Absolutely gutted. I can take losing as well. It's not even about losing. It's not even about not winning things or not winning the title and not being there or thereabouts. It's not about any of that. It's really not. It's about just seeing, like, looking on the pitch and saying, that's United. That's how we're supposed to play. That's how, our values, and I truly believe Ollie wants to do that. But I truly believe he's out of his depth. But I also believe you could have Poch in there now. I don't think it's much different. I think you'd see patterns of play. I think you'd see different things like that. But I don't think you'd see much difference by way of results or position in the league. I think we're about where we should be. The frustration has been we should be in that top 4 when you look at the opportunities we've had to close the gap. But when you look at the team, it's dreadful. And that's why I have often said, I know you guys like, oh Adam, you fucking love Ollie, you never getting on his back. But actually I've always often said, if Poch can come in the summer, that would have been perfect. Because I do think Ollie's taking some short-term pain for the next few managers. I really do. Dean's in the comments. We'll be doing another video very soon. RV's still in the comments. Vicino, loan reports making us look clueless. Mate, I haven't read anything. Don't read any of the rumours. Don't read any of all that. Just don't. Biggie says fair ratings. I would have given Martial and Andreas a 2 though. This is a turning point. Fans are walking away. We have no men in the squad. All boys. That's true as well. And our squad is a mixture of this. Players that used to be good are no longer in their best years. The likes of Matic, etc. Players that have their best years ahead of them. You know, we're hoping that in the future they're going to be very good players. The likes of Greenwood and Cole. Players that have never been good enough for Manchester United. The likes of Andreas. And players that will be good enough but are surrounded by shit. Players like Martial. We've got just a mishmash of squad. When you look at that team, like, another frustrating thing for me is, and the reason why I gave the subs got a 5 basically, based on the fact that he didn't have much time to do much anyway. The thing for me with Ollie is, like, forgot what I was gonna say. Where was I going when I was about to say that? That was it. The thing with Ollie is, yeah, and the one thing that really frustrates me is that we constantly try and play out from the back, and we've got Phil Jones and Harry Maguire there. That isn't their strengths. Matic come in asking for the ball, give the ball to one of them three. The pressure rebuilds on us. We're back to being under pressure. Within 5 seconds of having the ball, we put ourselves straight back under pressure. We have a throw-in, throw it long, it gets launched straight back at us. We don't do anything sensible when we have the ball. We don't play in any patterns. The patterns that we do play in invite trouble, invite pressure. They all do it. Play out from the back, we're not good enough. Pass back to De Gea, go long. Why not just do that from the start? Why invite this pressure onto yourself? Why invite these waves of negativity? Why invite this, that kind of sighing around the ground? Why invite that? You have to be able to try and do something different with what you have. You can't keep trying to do the same things over and over again. It's a definition of insanity. Trying to do the same things over and over and over again. Stop it. Stop it. Stop trying to play out from the back when your main centre halves at the moment are Jones and Maguire. And secondly, why the fuck did we start Phil Jones with Eric Bailly's on the bench? What are you doing? Is he injured? Then why is he on the bench? Is he not injured? Then why is he on the bench? Phil Jones' career should have been done years ago. And we're playing him over Bailly. It makes no fucking sense, man. No sense at all. Sad times for Man United fans. Manchester United 0. Burnley 2. United were trying to close the gap on the top 4 to 2 points, and the gap is now 6 points. Yes, you heard it right. 6 points from top 4. Champions League, we're having a laugh, but let's be real. Our problems run deeper than our league position. Our problems run deeper than whether we'll get Champions League football or not. And our problems need resolving ASAP. Will they be resolved with the Glazers in charge? Probably not. Devastating times for Manchester United fans. Don't really know what else to say, guys. Glad I've been able to come on here and have my little rant, have my little chat with you lot. But it's a painful time to be a Man United fan. Remember these times, because when we win again, it'll feel good. And that's why I stayed to watch that and listen to the full-time whistle and have a look out onto the pitch. I wanted to feel that pain, so that when we win again, it feels so much better. But yeah, Dreadful times for Manchester United fans. A manager that's clearly out of his depth. Owners that clearly don't care. A CEO that's running around like he is the best thing since sliced bread, but doesn't actually know what the fuck he's doing. And all in all, just a shit show of a football club. There's no end in sight, and if there is an end in sight, will probably be purchased by human rights abuse in Saudi Arabia, which is, I can't even bear to think about, but at least the football would probably be better. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in to Adam McKola TV. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're commenting, sharing and subscribing. I really do appreciate every last single one of you. We'll be back soon with some more content, so keep it locked. And for now, I've been Adam McKola. I'm out of here.